Alright, so we're leaving the house here and we're going to make a left at the corner. And let's go across the street so I can show you the water. For those of you who've never been up here, welcome to Michigan's Upper Peninsula. Check this out. This is right across the street from our house. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to show you a couple of the sites. So we'll come back in a few seconds when we're at Sandpoint Beach. Alright, this is Sandpoint Beach, guys. I've posted it on Facebook before. This is a nice little refresher for you. Look how beautiful this place is. And walk out a little bit out here to the beach. This is another vantage point from where we were a minute ago, which was a block from the house. See, we got people fishing. All right, so I hope you like that. Now, our next stop, Miners Castle. All right, so we're heading out from Sandpoint Beach and we're going to Miners Castle. So we're going to take you along for the drive here a little bit because there's a lot of wildlife back here. And on the way in we saw a bunch of deer, so I think we're going to share that with you. A bunch of them too. So yeah, this is the drive out of Sandpoint Beach. As you can see, it's really pretty. Slow because I don't remember exactly where they were. And they blend in so well that you could barely see them. You gotta be really right on top of them to see them. See if we can get lucky and see some deer. Hopefully they're still hanging around. They were around here, I think, right? So I don't see them. They were here. But as you can see, this is an absolutely gorgeous place. It's a beautiful drive in and out. And they might be up here. There's still a little ways to go, so we may still get lucky. Alright, so here they are. Here's one. And look over here to my left. There's 3 of them right here. Let me back it up so you can see. You got them there? As you can see, they're not intimidated. They're not afraid of the car. Let's see, we got 4 of them here. As you can see, this guy here, he blends in so well. I mean, we were literally on top of him before we saw him. Alright. We saw some deer, guys. Alright, so we are at the entrance drive to Miners Castle. Now it's a semi-paved, it's paved, but it's kind of messed up road. But it takes us to this this really beautiful spot, and the drive itself is really nice. So check it out. It's about 3 or 4 miles, and if you want to fast forward, go ahead. But I recommend you watch it once so that you can see how pretty it is. Never been in a place like this. This reminds me of a place in New Jersey. Where they say there's the Jersey Devil. But it kind of looks like this. But it's also really pretty. But there's no stigma attached to this one. No wives' tales. No nothing. See, the road's a little rough, but it's a beautiful drive. And it's been raining, so it's a little swampy. See, this area is pretty much untouched. So we're in the park now. Be there in a second or two. And we just recently had a pretty big storm, did some damage on the trees. Some deer. See the deers scattering? It's all right. Let's slow down and see if we can see them. Nope, they skedaddled. You guys got lucky. 2 deer sightings in one morning. not, we are making this video all of it in the same morning. Get in here, this first left is for them to come out. You're going to keep going straight here. Follow the road into the parking space. All right, we're here. Alright guys, we're here in Miner's Castle. Check out the view here. Look at this place. That's the water down there. Look how far the water goes. Miner's Castle. Isn't that beautiful? Alright, so this is Superior Street. This is one of the main streets here in town. And here you're going to find hardware stores, City Hall, a couple of bars, some wine tasting, I think a microbrew. And as you can see here on the left, the suburbs. It's a beautiful little town, and the nicest people in the world live here. So if you're considering a place to come to move away and you want to find a nice quiet place where everybody's friendly, well, hey, listen, if you're a nice friendly person, come on down. And that was one of the main streets. Now I'm going to turn right here and I'm going to show you the main street. And as you can see, the architecture here is all early 1900. See all those really pretty houses. And our town here is so big. There's so many people. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how many people there are. Well, I mean, I guess I can give you the example here just by saying, well, we have one traffic light. And you're looking at it right here. This is the one traffic light in town. It's that busy. So if you're from a busy place where there's a lot of traffic, hey, there's no traffic here. The highway is pretty much yours. So this is our town here of Munising. And let me get you a little, I'm going to turn right here on our only roundabout. And go for a little bit so you can see. And then come back and have a little cooking chat. here we're exiting our town. Because it's that big, it's got only one traffic light, remember. Gotta get used to Nemo again. Haven't driven the Mini in a few months. This place has assorted falls everywhere. Just about every couple of miles, there's a beautiful place for you to stop and take pictures. So here on the outskirts of town, you're going to find small subdivision. We have Wetmore, and out here we have some commerce. In case you need some stuff, we have, what is it, a Harbor Freight, I think it is. We don't have any Walmart or any big box stores here. For that, you got to go to Marquette. It's about 35 miles away. But we do have grocery stores, and we have, pretty much everything we need. And as you can see, it's absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So I'm going to take you guys out here, essentially to the Harbor Freight. Just before, I'm going to make a right-hand turn up here where these ORVs are. And the Harbor Freight is up there on the left, just a little bit further down, but I don't want to make that left turn. Everybody's coming at 70 miles an hour, and I'm in a Mini Cooper, so we're going to make a right turn. And we're going to show you this area back here, which is more commerce and residential. I'm going to go back here. We are going to make a turn. So if you ever come up here and you want to rent an ORV, you come here to this place here, and they'll rent you one. This is our fire department. It's very nice, very peaceful. Gorgeous or what? what makes this place really makes it is the people. Everybody's so nice here. It's ridiculous. It's like molasses. It's sickly sweet, but you don't get sick of it. More like you get used to it. We're heading back into town. And as soon as we get there, we're going to call this a video. And then we're going to transfer back to the kitchen, where we're going to have a little essentials chat. Must-haves in the kitchen. Town. So if you were to drive up here, this is what you'd see on the way in. There's our sign. All right, so our next stop, the kitchen. All right, we're back here at the house. I hope you enjoyed the tour of the area. I hope you like our home. So with that said, let's have a little chat about some of the stuff that you should probably be keeping in your pantry and in your fridge, just as a matter of course, because these things, you need them just about all the time, okay? So now, some of these are specialty items that I have found over the years that are like phenomenal, okay? Like, let's start here. This is called cocada, and it's a coconut spread, all right? Now, I don't sponsor these guys. This is just good stuff, okay? So my advice is look for it online. You can get this on Amazon. All right? Excellent. I'm going to put it back there as we go, because if not, I'm going to keep going and repeat. So another specialty item that comes from South Florida. Okay. This right here. This is called guava paste. All right? Now it comes in a spread in a bottle. Comes in a paste wrapped in plastic like this, or it also comes in a combo where it comes with another candy and guava already layered into the candy. All right. So I recommend this stuff. This stuff It's amazing. Once you try it, you won't stop eating it. Okay, and it's not expensive. You pick these up for a couple bucks. You can order them on Amazon too, because let's face it, up here in Michigan, we don't get a lot of stuff from South Florida, so I have to special order. All right. So, what else we got here? All right, corn syrup. People are gonna say, no, not the corn syrup. It's bad for you. Yeah, it is. Yeah, but you know what? It goes in a lot of desserts. Okay. This goes into a lot of different things: cookies and pies and tarts, and there's a lot of stuff going on with this. So I recommend that you keep light corn syrup, unless you need the dark corn syrup with the heavy molasses. This is the general use stuff right here, okay? So I recommend that you have it at home. Now when it comes to vanilla, there are several kinds of vanilla. There's the fake stuff, vanillin. Let's just go ahead and discard that crap right now. That is garbage, okay? If you see anything that says imitation vanilla, just walk away. 100% pure vanilla extract is vanilla that's been soaked in alcohol, vodka usually, for X amount of time, where it extracts the flavors from the vanilla, hence the vanilla extract. Okay. Now this right here, this is a paste. Now what they do here with this is they'll take the vanilla, all right, like we do in a restaurant, and they'll split it down the middle, and then they'll scrape the beans out. Now, once you scrape the beans out, you have the vanilla pod, and you have the vanilla beans. Right? The flavor's in the beans, but there's always going to be flavor in the pod as well. But the bulk of the flavor is right over here in the bean. So this is vanilla bean paste. And what it is it's the scraping of the vanilla, and they mix it with something called Gour gum, which is it's like a thickener, and what it does is it allows it to suspend, as you can see. Otherwise, there'd be a giant pile of vanilla beans at the bottom and liquid up here. So you don't even have to shake this stuff. I mean, look, it's so thick. Okay. So now this is the Nelson Massey Pure Vanilla Bean Paste. I get this from Williams-Sonoma. This gigantic thing was $99. It's very expensive. They have bottles this big that have 2-3 ounces or 4 ounces, and they have for like $20, $25. I recommend those. This, unless you're a baker, or a chef like I am, that this will last years. Okay, this won't go bad on you. So, Nelson Massey Vanilla Bean Paste. Okay. Now, apricot preserves, apricot jam, apricot jelly. Why? Well, because it's a semi-neutral flavor, all right? And when you're making a tart, this is ideal that you take some and you melt it in the microwave, and then you brush it on top of the tart. It won't have a lot of flavor to overpower your tart. And at the same time, what it does is when it cools down, it'll seal it. So let's say it's banana, just at a hypothetical. If it's a banana tart, well, the bananas on top will go black on you if you don't do something. So you paint this on top, and when it cools, they don't go black. It's a very mild flavor, and it looks nice. It gets shiny. So this is a must in the kitchen, okay? And when you try it once or twice, you'll see why. All right. So I've talked about this before. We'll talk about the differences between light and brown sugar, okay? So the main difference here, which is essentially the only difference, is this has more molasses and this has less. So if you want a richer flavor, a more molassesy flavor, the dark brown sugar is what you need. It all depends on your recipe, okay? Your recipe will come. Now, make sure that you're getting the right one, because if your recipe calls for light brown is this one, okay? Dark brown is this one. They're not one and the same. let's start there. They're not one and the same. So if you go with light brown, you're going to get less flavor than you are with the dark brown. Okay. Now, there are debates out there with, you know, this famous dessert, bananas foster, light or dark brown sugar. I ain't even going to get into that because I'm making another video on bananas foster. So, read your recipes carefully, because if it calls for less molasses, then what's going to happen is if you add dark brown sugar, it'll overpower your recipe. 9 times out of 10 it's a cookie or a pie or something like that, and you don't want it to override. You want it to be right. Okay. So this, remember, this has less molasses and this has more molasses. And if you need more molasses, you can always buy straight up liquid in a jar. Okay. Gotta have light and dark brown sugar in your kitchen. Okay. You gotta have mustard in your kitchen. Okay. You want the Grey Poupon? This is the Country Dijon mustard. It's a coarse grind. They have a coarser grind where you see the mustard seeds much more pronounced. But this is a nice, very nice spread. It's a little horseradishy. That's how, you know, I would classify it. It's mustardy, but it's also got that little horseradish nose thing that it gives you. This is really nice stuff. Okay, this is not French's. French's has another purpose. French's is great for potato salad or hot dogs. It's very mild. French's is, think of French's as the Hellmann's mayo of mustard. Okay, it's mild. It's not strong. You know, some of you like Duke's. Okay, I don't like Duke's for what I'm saying, because Duke's has a pronounced mayo flavor and Hellmann's does not. So if you think of neutrality, Hellmann's, French's, Frank's hot sauce, very neutral stuff, okay, that you can add to a lot of different things. Very nice stuff. This is much more tangy. I recommend that you take this stuff, okay? You open this and you smear it on a pork chop on both sides. Then you take the pork chop and you stick breadcrumbs on it. Whatever will stick to the mustard. Okay? Pan sear it, put it in the oven for 5 or 10 minutes. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? This goes phenomenally well with pork, with beef, with chicken. There's a couple of roasted fish dishes that are amazing with Dijon mustard. This is amazing stuff. I recommend that you keep this and substitute whenever you have a mustard ingredient. Put some of this in there and you'll see. Gotta have it. Everybody likes salsa. Mild, medium, hot. It's always red. Salsa verde, okay, is a different flavor. This, I recommend you toss it in pulled pork. This is amazing in pulled pork. Okay? So if you were to take pulled pork and season it, and then you say, yeah, I'm going to pour some of this stuff in there and toss it until it's a little moist, and you go tasting it. This stuff is a must, absolute must-have in the kitchen. This is some amazing stuff, and it's so versatile. It's not just for Mexican dishes. You can do it for just about anything. If you have a pan fry where you have onions, garlic, green peppers, and you have, you know, stuff like that you're going on the skillet, pour a little bit of this on there instead of tomato sauce, and this will enhance any dish you put it on. Guaranteed. This is amazing stuff. Okay. Must have. All right. What the hell, chef? So let me explain why I have this here. In the restaurants, okay, we will make this. All right. So let me debunk it right now. This is tomato sauce, Worcestershire, and horseradish. That's it. Those 3 ingredients. Okay? That's your cocktail sauce. Now, why do I tell you this? Because horseradish is really expensive. Okay? Let's start there. Tomato sauce has gotten expensive, and Worcestershire has gotten expensive. So this is $3. This tastes, and I challenge any of you chefs out there to taste this and tell me otherwise. This tastes so close to what we would make. It's stupid. It's not worth buying. It's not worth making it. It's not worth it. Tomato sauce, Worcestershire, and horseradish. You want to make it at home, you're more than welcome to. But for $3, and if you like extra horseradish, they have zesty. So it's a must-have. Now, over here we have some starches and some flour. Now these are thickening agents and they're coating agents, okay, like tapioca. That will be the last one. Tapioca flour. You could run meats through here, and this could be a light breading like cornstarch. Arrowroot's a thickener. Potato starch is also like this. You could roll stuff in potato starch and fry it. Potato starch is actually very nice. If you were to take this right here, add a little bit of milk to it, some seasonings, and then you run your frozen French fries through it, and then you fry them. You add a little coating to them. Okay? These are must-haves in the kitchen. Now, as a thickening agent, arrowroot doesn't give you any flavor. However, arrowroot boils out. What does that mean? That means that the minute you put arrowroot in there, it'll start to thicken. But the second it starts to boil, your arrowroot's done. It's done. Okay? So if you need something that has to boil, and you're going to keep cooking, go with the cornstarch. All right? But if it's at the end, and you just need it to thicken right there at the end, you won't taste this. This is amazing stuff. Because you have 12 ounces of sauce in a saucepan, and you're like, oh man, it's not thick enough. Give me some of the arrowroot. Get a little bit of that, a little bit of water in that, put it in there, and it thickens in a second. Just with the heat that you already have in the pan. Okay? So, all depends what you're using it for. Right? So arrowroot is for non-boiling purposes. Cornstarch is for boiling purposes. Right? And these are must-haves. You gotta have them, all right? Because you're gonna use them at one point or another. If you're at home and you want to make General Tso's chicken, you're gonna need some tapioca flour over here, okay, or some cornstarch. So I recommend cornstarch, tapioca flour, potato starch, whatever you can get. All right, must have. Now, what is this? This little cylinder that he's got there. Okay, so this essentially is a rock. We're gonna eat rocks. No. This is annatto, and annatto is essentially a rock. So it's ground and it becomes a powder. They add a little bit of thickening agents to this and a little seasoning. And this is an essential coloring for a lot of different things. It's a natural color. It's not artificial. Okay. And as it says here, yellow rice, paella, meat, chicken, fish, soup, stews, pasta. And it'll do more. It'll do more because if you have a dessert that needs to be a little bit more yellow or a little bit more orange, depending on how much here you add, this is a good food coloring. And it won't obstruct your flavors. Okay. This is very nice. I recommend you keep some of this at home. Do I really have to tell you to keep cream at home? I mean, this stuff is literally for anything. If you're going to make meatballs take a slice of bread, and some cream. Don't tell me milk. You'll insult me. Takes cream, all right? So cream for soups, cream for sauces, you know, if you want to deglaze a pan. If you're making a steak and you make a steak au pois at the end, which is the peppercorn steak at the end, you're going to toss cream in it. And that's one of the best steaks you're ever going to have. So this is amazing stuff. It's a must-have in the kitchen. If you churn it, if you put it in the mixer and you just churn it for 20 minutes, it'll separate. You'll have buttermilk, you'll have butter. It depends on what you want. If you want the cream, by all means, use it as cream. What I would do here, my favorite use of this, believe it or not, is mashed potatoes. And what I do is, I'll take this with butter, and I'll take them and I'll put them in a skillet, and I'll just reduce them. I'll reduce this by half. Okay, it'll get really, really thick and really, really flavorful, and then I'll mix it with the mashed potatoes with a little salt and a little garlic and a little pepper. It's amazing stuff. So I recommend heavy cream. This, and there's a difference between heavy and light cream, okay? So this is 41%, the other one is 36%. So it makes a difference depending on what you're using, okay? It really does. And last but not least, truffle oil. Why truffle oil? Well, because truffles are really expensive. A truffle, one little truffle that looks like a little hamster pellet, can cost you $100 if it's a good one. So what they do is they'll take the non-pretty truffles and they'll saturate it with olive oil. They'll just infuse them like you would vanilla bean. They'll just sit it in the olive oil until the olive oil is permeated with the truffle. And this is exactly what that is. This is oil that's been permeated with truffle. It's really, really good stuff. It's amazing on popcorn. It'll turn a 39 or an 89-cent bag of popcorn into like $6, but it's the best popcorn you're ever gonna have. Let's start there. If you like this stuff, oh yeah. I recommend it on French fries. I recommend it on your burger. I recommend it in a soup. I recommend it on your salad. I recommend it on rice. There is one catch to using it though, okay? When you're making anything with truffle oil, the truffle will dissipate with the heat. That's why when you see them on the video, you never see somebody adding, white or black truffles into their dish and then cooking it for 30 minutes. Because, you'll lose everything there. So what do? They'll add 2 or 3 slices for show, so you can see that it's in the dish. But at the end of the dish, they'll take their little truffle slicer and put it on top of your dish. Why? Because the fresh truffle is where it's at. The cooked one is gone. There's nothing in there anymore. Okay? It goes away with the heat, literally up in the air. So it has to be. This has to be good and cold. So best uses, right when you serve your bowl of soup, 3 drops, 4 drops, off you go. When your salad is already tossed, 3 or 4 drops on top, off it goes. Okay? Don't toss it in there because this is the icing on the cake. Okay? And you never mix your icing with the cake. You understand? So you put your truffle oil drops on top. And the smell will permeate the entire dish for the entire time. But you only get the 4 drops on top because it's icing. So, with that said, guys, here's a couple of essentials for the kitchen. I hope you use them all. I hope they're easy for you to use. And remember, learn to cook, and you'll eat better for the rest rest of your life.